It's time to tear down the floor plan of the Jayco Seismic 4113 RV Envy style. Top features of this floor plan include the side patio with the sliding door, the raised residential style kitchen with light farmhouse interior, and the bath and a half. All right, we'll start in the living area, work our way forward into the kitchen and the bedroom, and then head back toward the garage. Now, first thing you'll notice when you'll step in here is the gorgeous farmhouse style raised kitchen. Feels super residential. Really nice to have a light, bright interior in here. There is a dark version too, although I don't know why you'd get 80s retro dark brown in an RV when you can get this light interior. Just go with this. It looks gorgeous. There's also a lot of accent lighting all around the coach, which just gives it a really nice contemporary feel. Now we'll move over to the front door and look in. You've got a super sofa on a slide. It's slightly elevated, so it's a couple inches higher than you'd really expect to sit down, but it gets the job done. Now we'll head over and look at the TV. It's a pretty large TV given you're sitting, just a few feet away. I never thought I'd say this, but it's almost too big. I almost want a smaller TV when you're looking at it that closely. But there is a great fireplace right in front of you to keep you warm. Now there is no dinette when you're sitting at the couch, so your end tables are all you've got. There is of course a table in the garage area, but if you're using that for bedding or storage and don't have access to that, this really is your only place to sit and eat, as there is no dinette in this floor plan. Now, if you're traveling with a satellite, there is room to put that gear up here and hide it away. You will have to drill a hole down behind the TV to access the TV, but at least there is some storage to keep your cabinet nice and clutter-free. Now, one thing I'll notice, the front door does not come with an RV lock, one of those keypads that you can just punch in your code. It's a little weird because a coach of this price, I would expect that to come standard, but at least it's an easy fix. One other awkward piece around here is you've got a window shade, but you can't access it unless you open up the door, split off the screen, and then reach in there and close it or open it from there. Just a little funky. Again, it's not the end of the world, it gets the job done, but just sort of makes you scratch your head sometimes. To the left, you have all of your controls that you need. There's controls on 3 sides here. It's sort of nice to have a cabinet on the front here so they're not just sticking out, but it does require having to open and close it every time you want to do something like turn on the lights or bring in a slide in or out. Now the side patio is great. There's limited space to get out there, but once you're out there, you will see a side TV, and of course you're covered by the awning. It has been known to be a little weird to plug in things behind that TV. I'm not sure if it's been improved, but it's definitely not for the faint of heart to get your TV on there or remove it, or to add accessories to plug into your TV. Another piece of this living area is the loft. Now this loft space wraps all the way around, which is really nice if you want to have some storage. The one disappointing part is there's no way to access this storage in here. So if you want to store a bunch of stuff deep inside of this loft, you gotta crawl all the way through there and then somehow weasel your way out. Just add a door right there. It'd be super nice to be able to use that for a little extra storage space. All right, let's flip around to the kitchen. You'll notice plenty of storage space. It's a very large pantry, which is super nice. Let's take a step up and flip ourselves around. This backsplash here, it is framed, which is cool. Not sure if that's gonna stay on there or come unglued as they usually do on these fifth wheels or travel trailers, but we'll see how that holds up. It looks pretty nice. Of course, there's a window above the kitchen, which is great to be able to see down. You can't really see directly out because you're almost too tall when you're standing here, but it does add some light and helps you see outside in the RV park or wherever you may be staying. One convenience feature you've got here, everything you may need for the kitchen for running water, turning on the water heater, all that is pretty much accessible right here. So if you're in here and you realize, oh, I need to turn on the water pump, you don't have to go far, which is a very nice feature to have. Jayco does have a very unique feature, which is on this water dispenser, it hooks up to a large container, portable container that you store underneath the coach. There's no way to rig this up to your water line as it comes, so you've got to keep an eye on the amount of water you've got in your tank, otherwise it may run out, and I personally just find it to be a bit of a hassle. And especially if you're traveling around in this thing, it's not like you can just get refills of your water bottles wherever you are, say in the middle of the desert. So it's a nice feature. It feels like it's on the wrong coach for me. The refrigerator, I love the fact that you can access water and ice directly on the door. It's great. It's a residential fridge. There is also a standard RV fridge that you can get, but this is a very nice feature to have. And it's also a Whirlpool, which is great, as you do have other Insignia appliances here. Of course, the house brand for Best Buy, a newer brand, some reliability issues, but it's great to have a tried and true, trusted name in your refrigerator. Now, one thing I'm not seeing is a way to lock the fridge when you're in motion to keep it from opening and closing. I would assume there's some retrofit in there, but I'm not seeing anything here. Now, a new unique feature for this unit is the spice rack hidden in here. You can see it in a photo, but basically rather than just having a giant storage space, you open this up and you can pull out on a rack your spices, which is a nice use of space for being up so high. Lastly, there's not a lot of plugs in the kitchen. You've got a couple here. You've got this tool that pops up and you got some ports there. I'd rather just have some outlets on the wall out of the way. It kind of gets in the way of the counter space. Now let's move to the bedroom and the hallway. Lots of storage. You have a his and a hers closet. It's essentially right inside the bedroom. There's this pop-up storage area. Very convenient for jewelry or a gun or whatever you want to keep with you. But of course, if you do put things in here, you're not going to be able to access it if you start stacking things on top. So pros and cons. Walking into the bedroom, this looks like the king size version of the bed, which means there's no end table on this side. If you get a queen, you do get two end tables. They're really nice size, a lot of storage space, which is great, especially in RVs these days where they're cutting out end tables. It's just nice to have that, the storage space. You'll notice over here, you've got some plugs. You've got a DC outlet as well. This means you can plug in your backup camera, or for this coach, you may have other cameras around it, so you can basically use it as a security camera when you're in bed. Speaking of laying in bed, with your front cap window behind you, you've got a TV over on the side. Who wants to watch TV craning their neck with their neck over to the left? I don't understand why they do this. They end up just throwing the TVs wherever they can as an afterthought, and it just doesn't work for me. I would much rather see it mounted here. Of course, since there's a door here, you can imagine why they decided to put it here. Just doesn't work for me. I'm also not a huge fan of these bathrooms that have two doors. I don't really see the point in having two doors. I mean, I guess if you have people staying out here and you don't want to walk into the hallway just to use the bathroom, you could make an argument for that. Personally, I'd just rather have more storage space or some more towel racks or something on the side where the door is. But Jayco does a nice job with this bathroom in the sink, where there's plenty of counter space for your toothbrush and your curling iron, and of course the touch of having the fold-up shower bench, which just makes it feel a little more like home. Now let's sneak out through the bedroom and we'll go into the main part of the unit, but one last stop is the 4G LTE repeater you have on the roof. Not sure this particular model, ones they've used previously aren't the best value. They don't work that reliably, and especially if you get something like a Winegard data plan, it is insanely more expensive than a plan through someone like Verizon or AT&T or T-Mobile. Of course, some of these units don't let you use the SIM cards from other providers, so make sure before you decide to get this unit, just because of this 4G LTE hotspot, that it's gonna work with whatever data plan you're gonna bring with you. All right, time to head back to the garage in the rear of the coach. Another thing to note, you've got these remotes for your light switches. They are all wireless and they can connect to your J-Command system wirelessly, which is cool to have. You just have to keep an eye on those batteries because they do need to be replaced every once in a while. Heading into the garage, pretty standard garage. You got your Happy Jack and your bed on top, which come down here. You can use, of course, the Happy Jack system on the bottom as a full bed or a dinette. Let's head into the rear here and turn around and look facing forward. You've got your washer dryer hookups here. If you get a stacked washer and dryer, it is going to fill a lot of the space here. There is no pre-drilled spot for a dryer vent, which means the best solution is to drill a hole into the ground and have your vented washer or vented dryer heading straight out and down below you. Another new feature they have here is the pre-wiring for a backup camera, so you can basically keep an eye on your toys as you're driving down the road. Of course, if you do happen to get a washer dryer, you're probably not going to be able to use this camera because it's just going to be basically blocking the entire view. And then of course, a great feature of this unit is the second rear bathroom, really bath and a half. Does the job, not a ton of space, but hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go. Now, what can you use in this trailer when you are moving down the road and your slides are in? Assuming you don't have a large toy in the way, you can jump in and access your rear bathroom, which is really the only thing you're gonna be able to access because this single large slide comes all the way in here, prevents access to the kitchen or the bathroom in the front. And that is the RV/NV teardown of the Jayco Seismic 4113. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.